In the simplex technique, we have discussed a few problems of maximization, and in the last class, we solved a problem of minimization by converting the problem into maximization type. So this could be possible only when all the constant in equations are of less than or equal to type. But when the constant equations are of greater than equal to type or simply equal to type, we can not convert the problem of minimization into a maximization problem, and then we have to use some new methods, some new techniques to solve such problems. So two methods are generally in use for solving such problems. One is the big M method, also known as Chard's penalty method, and another is two-phase method. But as per our syllabus, we have to study big M method only. So we are now going to discuss the big M or Chard's penalty method for solving minimization problem or even maximization problem. With constant in equations greater than or equal to type or simply equal to type constants. So when the constants are of greater than equal to type, we convert them into equality by subtracting surplus variables. For example, if say x1 plus x2 is greater than equal to any number, say 10, then we convert the equality sign as x1 plus x2 minus s1 will be equal to 10. Why? So if x1 plus x2 is equal to 10, no problem. But if x1 plus x2 is greater than equal to 10, then there has to be some quantity which will need to be subtracted from the left hand side to make it equal to the right hand side value, that is 10. So we say x1 plus x2 minus s1 will be equal to 10. But if you write minus s1, then we cannot treat them, we cannot consider them in the basic solution, in the basic feasible solution. So we need to introduce some artificial variables, and these are represented by A. Artificial variable are represented, the slack variables and surplus variables are represented by S1, S2, S3, etc. Then artificial variables are denoted by A1, A2, A3, etc. In the case of maximization, we assign a very large penalty, say minus m, and in the case of minimization, we assign a very large value plus m to this. And then we solve the problem by simplex method. Remember, m is considered as a very large quantity. In computer programming, we assign the highest possible number that a computer can treat as m. But it is not equivalent to infinity, because infinity plus infinity is also infinity. It is not equal to 2 infinity, because infinity is any quantity which is larger than you can think of. M is a very large quantity, but m plus m you can write 2m. M minus m is equal to 0. 1.0001 m will be greater than simply m. So you can do all arithmetic operations on m. But if m comes into solution, you cannot get an optimal solution. So the condition for optimality is that it should not appear, m should not appear, artificial variable should not appear in the optimal solution. So generally, when you do the iterations of simplex method, you may come across three conditions. One could be you may get at least one artificial variable in the basis at 0 level, and the optimality condition has been satisfied. If this is the case, then this kind of solution is known as degenerate solution, and this incidence is known as degeneracy. So there are methods and ways to remove degeneracy, but there could be another case where there is no artificial variable available in the basis at 0 level, and the optimality condition is satisfied. Then it means that you have arrived at a stage where you can get the optimal solution of the given problem. There could be a third case in which one of the artificial variables comes in the basis at non-zero level with positive value, and optimality condition is also satisfied. In that case, the problem has no feasible solution. Such a solution will, although satisfy the constant, but will not optimize the objective function. So this solution procedure will require to continue this simplex method until either an optimal basic feasible solution is obtained or you get an unbounded solution. So let us consider the following linear programming problem in which we have to minimize z is equal to 5x1 plus 3x2 subject to the constants 2x1 plus 4x2 is less than equal to 12, 2x1 plus 2x2 equal to 10, 5x1 plus 2x2 is greater than equal to 0, and x1, x2 both greater than equal to 0. So you see in this problem, what is the beauty? That you have got all three kinds of constants. This is less than equal to type, this is equal to type, and this is greater than equal to type. But you might be remembering now that before applying simplex technique, we examine that at least two conditions must be satisfied. These conditions are all the values on the right hand side of the constant equations must be positive or 0. So all the values on the right hand side 12, 10 and 10 are positive here. So one condition is satisfied, and second condition is that all the variables must be greater than equal to 0. So here there are two variables x1 and x2. So x1 and x2 is greater than equal to 0. This is written in the problem itself. So both the conditions are satisfied. So we can now think of applying simplex technique. So what we do? Here also it is a minimized z is equal to 5x1 plus 3x2. So here also we, because there are different kinds of constants, less than type, equal to type, and greater than equal to type, and we know that solution of any problem of maximization is easier. So we convert this minimization problem into maximization. So minimize z is equal to 5x1 plus 3x2 will become equal to maximize z prime, or will equal to minus minimize z, or minus 5x1 minus 3x2. It is 5x1 plus 3x2 becomes minus 5x1 minus 3x2, minus 5x1 minus 3x2. Now, first inequation 2x1 plus 4x2 is less than equal to 12. So it is less than equal to sign. So we use slack variable s1 here. So what we shall do, 2x, to convert the inequality into equality sign, we add the slack variable. So this will become 2x1 plus 4x2 plus s1 will be equal to 12. So 2x1 plus 4x2 plus s1 will be 12. 2x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 10. Here it is a sign of equality. So neither you have to use slack variable nor surplus variable. We use only the artificial variables. And in this case, we are going to use the first artificial variable. So we say this is equal to a1. So 2x1 plus 2x2 plus a1 is equal to 10. So we write here, say 2x1 plus 2x2 plus a1 is equal to 10. Then 5x1 plus 2x2 is greater than equal to 10. So to convert this sign of greater than or equal to type into equality type, we deduct the surplus variable, and that is s2, say s2 here. So 5x1 plus 2x2 minus s2 will be equal to 10. But at the same time, when we say minus s2, we also add another artificial variable a2. We write plus a2 is equal to 10. So this will be equal to 5x1 plus 2x2 minus s2 plus a2 is equal to 10. All x1, x2, s1, s2, a1, a2 will be greater than equal to 0. And then the objective function would becomes maximize z prime is equal to minus 5x1 minus 3x1 plus 0s1 plus 0s2, because s1 and s2 all slack and surplus variable have 0 contribution. And then it is a problem of maximization. So we write minus MA1 minus MA2, because I told you that in the maximization problem, we give a big penalty so that if A1 or A2 appears, this problem cannot be solved, because minus value will be so great that you can never get profit. So we write minus MA1 minus MA2. M is the coefficient of the artificial variable A1 and 2, which have very great values. So maximum z is equal to minus 5x1 minus 3x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2 minus MA1 minus MA2. So to start with, what we do, S1, we start with S1 is equal to 12, A1 is equal to 10, A2 is equal to 10, and X1, X2, and S2 is equal to 0. Because we do not treat surplus variable in the solution, only artificial variable and the slack variable. And when we put all these things, here we transfer this entire thing into the simplex table. So first row Cj will contain the coefficients of different variables in the objective function. So it is -5, -3, 0, 0, -m and -m. So we write -5, -3, 0, 0, -m. These are the coefficients of the different variables in the objective function. Then the basic variables with S1, A1, A2, S1, A1 and A2, and their cost or value will be equal to S1 will have 0, A1 is equal to -m, and A2 is equal to -m, A1 is equal to -m, A2 -m. These are the coefficients in the objective functions, and S1 has a coefficient 0 here in the objective function. So we write 0 -mm, and then we write the coefficients of first constant. So 2x1, x1 will have two value, x2 4, S1 1, S2 0, A1 0, A2 0, and the quantity is 12 here. So we write 2, 4, 1, S1 is equal to 1, S2 0, A2 0, A2, A1 0, A2 0, and quantity is equal to 12. Similarly, we write for the other two constants also 2, 2, S1 will be 0, S2 will be 0, A1 will be 1, and A2 is equal to 0. This will be equal to 10. So you see 2, 2, 0, 0, 1, 0, 10. And then for the third, we write all the values here. Then the next operation is we calculate the Zj. Zj will be equal to, in the first column, 2 into 0, 0, 2 into -m, -2m, 5 into -m, -5m, so -2m, -5m is equal to -7m. So we first we multiply all the values with the cost of each component and then add up. So this becomes -7m. This becomes 4 into 0, 0, 2 into -m, -2m, 2 into -m, -2m, -4m. So this is -4m. Similarly, we add up all these things. And Cj minus Zj means we deduct this -7m from -5. So -5 minus -7m. So minus becomes 7m and -5. So 7m minus 5. So -3 minus 4m means -3 minus plus 4m. So this becomes 4m minus 3. 0 minus 0. Likewise 0 minus m, 0 minus m. So this becomes the value in the Cj minus Zj row, or this is also known as net evaluation row or index row. Now, in the problem of maximization, we have said that all the values should be positive, should be negative or 0. So we see here that two values 4m minus 3 and 7m minus 5 are positive. M is very large quantity, so 7m minus 5 and 4m minus 3 are both positive, but the maximum value is 7m minus 5. So this maximum positive value, the column containing the maximum positive value of Cj minus Zj will be considered as the key column. So this is the key column. So what we do next? So this is the key column. Then all the positive value of the key column are divided in the quantity. So 12 divided by 2 becomes 6, 10 divided by 2 becomes 5, and 10 divided by 5 becomes 2. So the row containing the minimum ratio is considered as the key row. We consider only the positive value. So this row corresponding to the basic variable A2 will be the key row. So key column means what? Key column means the variable which will go in the solution. So this is the key column, maximum positive value x1. It means what? That this is the key column. Key column means this x1 will come in the next. So this was the incoming variable. So x1 will come in the next iteration. And key row is what? Key row is the outgoing variable. So A2 will go. This is the key row. So A2 will go. And say intersection of key column and key row, which is 5 here. So this 5 is known as the key element. So in the next iteration, what we do? First we say S1 will remain, A1 will remain, and A2 will be replaced by X1. So here what will happen? S1, A1 remain, and A2 has been replaced by X1. And X1 has a contribution of minus 5m, A1 has a contribution of minus m, and S1 has a contribution of 0. And because A2 has, say, A2 has solved, because A2 has been replaced, so in artificial variable, it is the beauty that now you can delete A2 from all places. So this row is A2 has been replaced by X1. So you can delete this column also, this A2, because it has already served its purpose. Now no longer A2 column is required. So in the next column, we write only X1, X2, S1, S2, and A1. So here in this column, S1 has a contribution of 0, S2 has a contribution of minus m, A1 has a contribution of minus m, and X1 has a contribution of minus 5. Minus 5, S1 has a contribution of 0, and A1 has a contribution of minus m. So we write here. Then the key column is converted by dividing all elements with the key element. The key element is 5, so 5 divided by 5 becomes 1, 2 by 5, 0, minus 1 by 5, 0, 1 by 5, and 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. So the next, you get the value here, 1, 2 by 5, 0, minus 1 by 5, 0, and 2. And how do we change this? Suppose we want to, in the key column, all the values except the key element will be 0. So 5 if you divide by 5, it becomes 1, and then this becomes 0, 0. In the next column, this becomes 1, and this becomes 0, 0. So next is, suppose we want to change 4. So what we do, old number means 4 minus this 2 multiplied by 2, 4 divided by 5, 4 minus 4 by 5. So this becomes what? 4 minus 4 by 5 is 16 by 5 to 16 by 5. Similarly, we go here, say 1 minus 0 into 2, 0 divided by 5 equals 0. So 1 remains as 1. Similarly, we convert all the values here. So this becomes 0, 16 by 5, 1, 2 by 5, 0, and 8. So all the values have been replaced. Now again, we calculate the ZJ value. ZJ value is equal to 0 into 0, 0, 0 into minus 5, 0, 1 into minus 5 is equal to minus 5. Similarly, 16 by 5 into 0, 0, 6 by 5 into minus m is minus 6m by 5. 2 by 5 into 5 it means minus 2. So then it becomes minus 2 minus 6 by 5, minus 2 minus 6 by 5. Likewise, you calculate all the values of the Z max or ZJ. Then Cj minus Zj, minus 5 is equal to 0, minus 3 minus 2 minus 6 by 5 m. So minus 3 minus plus 2. So it becomes 6 minus 6 5 by 5, 6m by 5 minus 1. So we calculate this. What is the maximum positive value here? We get two positive values. One is 6m by 5 minus 1, that is 1.2 m minus 1, and it is 2m by 5 means 0.4 m. So this quantity is larger. So x2 column x2, this x2 column has the highest positive value in the index row, in the index column, in the, say, in the net evaluation, in this column. So this will be the key column. It means what? Now x2 will be the outgoing, will be the incoming variable. So x2 will be replaced by what? So we what we do? We divide the quantity column with each of these elements in the key column here. So 8 divided by 16 by 5 means 8 into 2. 8 divided by 16 by 5 means 8 into 5 by 16. So 5 by 2, this becomes 5 by 2. 6 divided by 6 by 5 into 6 into 5 by 6 into 5. Similarly, here 5. So minimum value is here 5 by 2. Had this 5 by 2 not been there, then we could have got a tie. So 5 and 5. Then how to break a tie? There is another rule. So we consider here this 5 by 2 as the minimum value, and this row becomes the key row. So this was the key column. This x2 column corresponding to the variable x2 is the key column, means x2 variable is coming in the next solution, and s1 is going out. S1 is going out. So because this is the key row, this is the key row. So s1 is the outgoing variable and x2 is the incoming variable. So, and this is the intersection of key column and key row is the key number. So this is the key row, this is the key column, 16 by 5 is the key element. Now in the next row, what we will do? We shall divide all elements in the key row with 16 by 5. So 0, 16 by 5 equal to 1, 1 by 16 by 5 will be 5 by 16, 2 by 5 into 5 by 16 means 2 by 1 by 8, 0. This will be 8 into 5 by 6, divided by 16 by 5 means 8 into 5 by 16. This equal 5 by 2. So this in the next row, we write 0, 0, 16 by 5, 1, 2 by 5, 0, 8. And the other numbers are converted like in the earlier formula. So this is the S1 has been replaced here by X. S1 has been replaced by X2, and we all the values have been written here. Now we again calculate ZJ. So ZJ 0 into minus 3, 0, 0 into minus 1, 0, 1 into minus 5 equal to minus 5. So this is minus 5. 1 into minus 3, 0, and 0 minus 5, 0, so minus 3. Likewise, you calculate all the values there. Again, we deduct it from Cj. Cj minus 5 is equal to 0. Minus 3 is equal to 0. Likewise, you calculate here everything. So what we get here? One more positive column here. See here. This column has m by 4 minus 7 by 8. Means this is still positive. So what we do? This becomes our key column, maximum positive value, and then key column, all elements in the quantity column are divided with the elements in the key column. So 5 by 2 divided by 1 by 8, this becomes 5 by 2 into 8, so it becomes 20. Similarly, 3 divided by 1 by 4, 3 into 4, 12, and 1 divided by minus 1 by 4 is equal to minus 4. We do not consider negative quantity, so minimum of these two is 12. So this is the key row. This is the key row, and this is the key column. It means what? S2 will come in the next iteration, and A1 will be replaced. So when we replace A1, so we replace A1, we delete this row column also, because no longer A1 will appear again. So we say delete A1 for all practical purposes. So in the next solution, what will happen? A1 will be replaced by S2, X2 will remain, A2 replaced by S2, so S2 and then X1. So see here X2, S2 and X1. Then here again, this was the key row. So and this was the key column. 1 by 4 was the intersection of these two is 1 by 4. So this is the key element. So we divide 1 by the key, all values in all cell entries in the key row, with 1 by 4. So this becomes 0 by 1 by 4, 0, 0 by 1 by 4, 0, minus 3 by 8 into divided by 1 by 4, divided by 4, multiply by 4. So this becomes minus 3 by 2. So likewise we convert here. So what we get here, 0, 0, 0, minus 3 by 2, 112. And then we get other values also by replacing the cell entries in the previous iteration. So now ZJ values have been recalculated. So ZJ is 0 into minus 3, 0, 0 into 0, 0, 1 into minus 5, minus 5, 1 into minus 3, 0, and this is 0, so minus 3. Likewise ZJ, and then CJ minus ZJ, minus 5, minus 5, 0, minus 3, minus 3, 0. So likewise, we have calculated this. Now see, all the values are here 0 or negative, so 0 or minus 1 or negative. So this is the condition of optimality. So optimal condition has been raised. So what is this? Solution x2 is equal to 1, s2 is equal to 12, and x1 is equal to 4. S2 was this surplus variable that has no significance. So final solution is x1 is equal to 4 and x2 is equal to 1. X1 is equal to 4 and x2 is equal to 1. If you put this, then your z max is equal to minus this. So z minimum is equal to minus of minus 23 is equal to 23. So 23 is the minimum value. This is the solution by Big Charles method. So we have solved a mixed type of constant through this method, Big Charles method, and in the next class we shall solve some more problems by using this method. Thank you. So we end our class today here.